just killing time, waiting for attack. Waiting for that old blood moon to rise. You better watch your back. You better watch your back. 'Cause it's gonna be a fight tonight, I know. And a bullet for my time. 'Cause it's gonna be a fight tonight, I know. And a bullet for my time. And in the evening breeze, the city's all on fire. Can you spare a cigarette and a prayer for my life? A prayer for my life. 'Cause it's gonna be a fight tonight, I know. And a bullet for my time. 'Cause it's gonna be a fight tonight, I know. And a bullet for my time. And if God is numbered all my days, I will not be afraid. And if a bullet has my name on it, then there's nothing left to say. 'Cause in the combat zone, we're rolling on patrol. But if I find my way back to Texas, brother, I'd be home. Now, brother, I'd be home. 'Cause there's gonna be a fight tonight, I know. And a bullet for my time. 'Cause there's gonna be a fight tonight, I know. And a bullet for my time. And a bullet for my time. And a bullet for my time.
Friday night down at the Legion Bar, Bill opened up a box of old cigars. Said on this day back in '69, I lost the best friend of mine. Kinda said that's a place I've been, but it was 2010 Afghanistan. He raised his glass, said here's to friends and their ultimate sacrifice. Yeah, the times and places they may change, but one thing stays the same. The stories that they tell about going through hell. If you think they wouldn't do it all over again, you just don't know them. The memories that they own of the ones who didn't make it home, yeah, they sure do miss them, but they keep them all living in the stories that they tell. Bartender said next round's on me. I spent some time overseas. Tonight's my first night behind this bar. Bill handed him a cigar. Well, the faces in the pictures, they may change, but one thing stays the same. The stories that they tell about going through hell. If you think they wouldn't do it all over again, well, you just don't know them. The memories that they own of the ones who didn't make it home, yeah, they sure do miss them, but they keep them all living in the stories that they tell. Yeah, some will laugh and some will cry. Sometimes they'll wonder why. And I've been there, so I wrote this song. I know the need to carry on. The stories that they
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight for the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' regular, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Welcome to Homeland Heroes Salute podcast with your hosts Doug Macedo and Jim Roberg.
Welcome everybody. Welcome to another episode. I'm your host Doug, and today we've got a special guest with us today. She is all the way on the other side of the United States, in the middle of it. Her name is Carla, and I'm going to let her go ahead and take it over and give us a brief background on you.
Hi, thank you for having me. My name's Carla McPhee. I'm a volunteer with the Illinois Motorcycle Freedom Run. We are the founders of the Middle East Conflicts Wall Memorial in Marseille, Illinois. And I know you said give me a brief history, but
Yeah.
it really is not brief. It all started back in 2004 when they had or 2003 when they had the invasion into Iraq. Um, Everybody across the country was watching the news. My friends were watching the news. They were at the local watering hole and they saw all the protesters protesting downtown Chicago. And I mean, it just pissed them off. People were throwing the American flag on the floor. They weren't supporting the military that was being sent over there. You got your peace protesters out there. They were blocking all the streets. Nobody could get home from Chicago. And so they got on their motorcycles and they went downtown and they passed out American flags, telling everybody, you cannot protest this war. You have to support our troops. Our kids are over there. Boots are on the ground.
Yeah.
And it got to the point where people were throwing things at them, and the police ended up having to escort them out because it was getting ugly. And it would have been uglier if the police let them stay there because these bikers were mad. And
Yeah.
they they all come back to the south side of Chicago. And the very next day, the first fatality from Illinois, Captain Ryan Beaupre, a Marine from St. Anne, Illinois, was killed. He was a helicopter pilot. His machine went down, killing him and I think 15 others. And that was close to home. He lived less than 40 minutes from our neighborhood. So after his body was flown back to the United States, more and more have been killed during this time frame. And we organized a motorcycle run to that Marine's hometown because we wanted to pay homage and give respect to that family.
Yeah.
We made a monument from the motorcycle community of Illinois honoring that Marine for his sacrifice, and we called it the Freedom Run. It was the Illinois Motorcycle Freedom Run. It was our first one. And then we ended up coming back to our neighborhood after that, and had we had speakers, we had donated food, we had people making care packages. There were a lot of people, they were patriots. They were coming out of everywhere to support this and support us. And it was that evening when they were up on stage, and one person said, "What are we going to do now?" And Tony Catrano and Jerry Cooch, who are the founders of all this, they said, "We're going to build our own wall memorial. We are not going to wait for the families to have to wait for the government to build a wall memorial." So for the whole next year, I don't know, we gathered all the rebar and concrete, and we did all kinds of advertising and research, and we got this donated land in Marseille, Illinois, which is a sleepy little Illinois town on the Illinois River. It's about 90 miles from Chicago. It's right off of Interstate 80. Uh, but they got donated land, and we began to break ground. The laborers union they have a union hall right in town, so they had all kinds of volunteers to help us. Local 150 had all their heavy equipment there to help us, and the Buildings Trades Commission. We had a lot of union support of manpower, machines, and we shored up all this land, and we built the foundation. We had a shore it up with rebar, built the foundation, and our original wall had 5 panels, and they were all the names from uh, they were all the names from the USS Cole,
Yep.
Lebanon barrack bombing, USS Victory, Somalia, the terrorist attacks in Somalia, Greece, and then the start of the Gulf War. So it had 5 panels, approximately 3,000 names. And going forward, we had our very first freedom run, our second freedom run was the unveiling of this wall was June 15th, 2004. So we just had our 20th anniversary of building the wall last weekend.
Wow.
But so what we have is everybody who's killed in action, And whoever was killed in action from one Memorial Day to the next Memorial Day, their names get added on for the previous run. And the purpose of having a run every year is to read everyone's name out loud and honor them. And unfortunately, this year we had 3 names to add on the wall. Those killed in the terrorist attack with the drone are considered to be on the wall as well. So now we have 8,036 names on our wall.
Wow.
16 panels, built 100% by volunteers, and we're getting to know people all over the place, just like how you were introduced to me
Yeah.
with James West. James West came up to the Wall Memorial with a volunteer group out of Tennessee. With the Waypoint Vets had a healing weekend,
Yep.
and that was their first year doing it. And they had one veteran from each conflict represented on our wall. And they had over 202 names, I think, to etch off the wall. And James was our Somalia representative. And I met him like 4 years ago when they had their first trip up. And then I came across with him again when some veteran from Colorado was making a tribute bike to the attacks of I'm going to say it wrong, Mogadishu.
Yeah,
So from
Mogadishu. Yeah.
Mogadishu.
Yeah.
And so those people, Ed Rickard is his name. He was a combat
Yep.
vet, medic during and during that attack, and he was looking for Gold Star families, and they called me, and I actually didn't have any Gold Star families from those attacks, but I knew I had a veteran from one, which was James West. So we all connected, and this beautiful bike was built in tribute to them and traveled across the country and is now in a museum or at a Harley dealership out in New York.
Yes. It's up in Buffalo,
Yeah.
because I actually did. I interviewed Ed on that and talked to him, and because he's only a few hours away from where I'm at, and I ended up having a conflict where I couldn't get out there, but I was able to interview him over the Zoom and be able to talk about the bike, as well as talk about his experience in the service and all that. So, if the viewers are looking to find out where they can find you guys at, I know you guys have the website, which it's the Middle East conflict. Wall
Conflicts.
conflicts wall memorial, is that, I believe it,
.org.
.org, yep. And then also you guys have a Facebook page. Can you just let the viewers know what that Facebook page is as well?
The Facebook page that I run is called the Illinois Motorcycle Freedom Run. This has been the longest page that we've had because it's all about our annual fundraiser, which
Yeah.
is the Illinois Motorcycle Freedom Run. It's the third Saturday of every June. This past weekend we just had our 21st anniversary of our Freedom Run, and it was the 20th anniversary of us building the wall. And so they could do the Illinois Motorcycle Freedom Run or the Middle East Conflicts Wall Memorial. And yeah, people could get back to you on either page, but my name and my phone number are on the Google page
Yeah.
if anybody needs to contact me.
Okay. Oh,
But as
absolutely.
far as the Freedom Run, we have motorcycles that come in from all over. This year we had a group come in from Tennessee, Florida, Montana. There was a big group that came down, Philadelphia, and I think there was a group from Rhode Island. And sometimes they call and they say, "Hey, we're coming in. Give me an RS. We're coming in." And sometimes I'm like, "Hey, you guys want to come and be part of the ceremony? We need some road blockers, or we need a flag line." And we try to
Yep.
make the ones that are coming in. There's a lot of veterans that are coming in. We incorporate them into what we're doing as well. There's a group from the 520th Infantry that has had their reunion there the last 3 years. And this year there were like 40 guys. And that came, and again, another 200, 250 names that they're etching off the wall. It's just mind blowing how much loss there is this weekend.
Yeah, no, absolutely, and it's definitely crazy. But I mean, again, it's what you and the volunteers and everybody's doing to put your guys' time and effort into this, and to give back to the families of these fallen soldiers. It's absolutely amazing, and it's like, what motivated you really to take on this and be able to go with this since 2003.
2003. Well, it was a total coincidence that I was even at this, the first Freedom Run. I didn't ride a motorcycle. I didn't hang with the motorcycle crew. I was there with the guitar player who was playing. And when, just the patriotism, people were just coming out of the neighborhood. They were bringing their kids. It was a family affair. There were people crying and grieving, and people who had children over there. I just got sucked in immediately. I had to do something. And as I had two young sons at the time too, so it was just wrenching at my heart. I
Yeah,
just couldn't imagine losing a child. And so I got involved they made me go. They're like, "You're not even a biker. Who are you?"
yeah,
I said, "I just want to volunteer." They're like, "Well, you don't ride a motorcycle." I'm like, "Do you have to?" Well, now I do. I've had two motorcycles since, but I started going to all the meetings. So they
yeah,
had a whole board of directors and everything, and I pretty much helped with the secretary, looking up Gold Star families.
yeah,
And back then, of course, the internet was kind of new. So what I was doing was sending sympathy cards to the funeral homes. Somebody would, it would be announced on the news, then the funeral services would be on Google, and I would send sympathy cards to all the fallen when they were having their hotel. Please get this to the family. Let them know someone cared. We care. There's a bunch of bikers in the middle of Illinois, Southside Chicago bikers that are building this beautiful wall memorial
yeah,
in the middle of Illinois. And it really is smack dab in the middle of nowhere. This town of Marseilles did not know what hit them when we came in. They literally, it's like 2 blocks long, and it has 3,000 people or 4,000 people, and most of them are farmers and whatnot. And it's a big day for them as well, seeing all the motorcycles come in.
yeah,
Our largest motorcycle run had 15,000 bikes. We had left out of the NASCAR track in Joliet,
yeah,
but the state police or somebody made us stop. It was too big. We had to move it to somewhere else to be more contained. But
yeah.
it's not saying that we don't have these many people coming all the time. There are people coming from around the country weekly to go visit this wall, not just for the Freedom Run.
Yeah. No, and
And
that's awesome. You know.
yeah, and like I said, people know me, Carla from Chicago. I mean, I ride a motorcycle, so I'm on the different motorcycle pages on Facebook. Motorcycle Maps is a big one. People traveling across the country, they always want to know where to stop. They're always asking for advice of where to stop en route, and they have people who are doing cross country roads call us. Hey, where are we going to stay? And or we got a group of 20 coming. We want to stay at a campground, and we help people out like that, year round, to just make it easier for everybody to come through and be a part of our event and honor our fallen and see this beautiful wall. I mean, it really is beautiful, and the Illinois River flowing behind it. There's always eagles that show up when I'm there, or everybody says that. There are eagles in the area anyway, but during the ceremony every year there is one whooping by, and
Nice.
we always say it's a sign.
It absolutely is, and that's amazing. Have you been able to get like a photo of the eagle like soaring, soaring through the sky, whatnot?
Y- We do. You know what? This year, I had a girlfriend from up here in Illinois who's a photographer, and she's now down in Maryville, Tennessee, and she ended up getting married. So she came up with a group because they've never been to the wall before, and they actually are a photography group. So they took over 2,000 pictures, and I haven't gotten all of them yet, but I'm sure there's an eagle in there somewhere. I know they caught the horses, during the motorcycle ride as they're coming. There's a group that mount their horses and relay back and forth on the highway as all the bikes are coming through. So they did get those, which
Nice.
is exciting. Everyone talks about the horses too. So
Oh, you got to have the horses when it's a big farm town like that. I mean,
yeah,
shoot, you got to have horses in there. Um,
we had the Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts were our flag line this year, and we have different Legion halls do the honor guard and
yeah.
uh, the rifles, and anybody who's a part of this is just so honored. We had our coin made from a new company, and they're from the East Coast. Chris Millwork, I believe it was. But this guy cried when I asked him to help us design our 20th anniversary coin. Literally cried. He was so honored to be a part of it. And he's paralyzed veteran. And those are the people we want to give back to. Give other people an opportunity to be a part of this with us.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, it's something to have like that, and be able to have a 20th anniversary. To even say you have a 20th anniversary is it's absolutely amazing. And
It-
for
And
the
again, 100% built by volunteers. We've
yeah,
had no government funding for this at all. And I mean, I got a picture of it. I don't know if you'll be able to see it
if you
on your,
yeah, we can see it. Um, oh, absolutely, that's a beautiful picture. I may have you just take a photo of that, and I'll even post.
I'll send you one.
All right, perfect. I'll take it and post it up onto the page, just so everybody can see it and be able to maybe we'll even to snag it and be able to post it somewhere. Um, you know, it's amazing that the work that you're doing and all the other volunteers are doing for our veterans. As we were talking, you yourself, you're not a veteran, but you are a supporter, and you're able to do your part by supporting us veterans and be able to, do the work you're doing. And as a friend of mine would say, Tim Chambers would always be like, "You're absolutely a motivator. You're a motivator. Keep going and doing it. Do what you can do as a motivator." And that's what he would always say. He would always say that.
He was a part of our event one year. He stood, we go down this big windy road and then we come into the two-block town, and he
Yep.
stood right there saluting everybody. And he was honored for that, to do that, be a part of that as well.
Yeah, and he's an individual that likes to go to events like this because, again, it's honoring those fellow veterans, for their sacrifice that they've given for this country. Those are the things that he likes to live by and be able to do his part. As he would always say, I've never, he would say, I've never deployed anywhere, but my mission is to be, there to give them a salute, and provide them that salute, have that honor to be able to do that to them. Um, he does his part that way, as he would always say. Um, so that's absolutely amazing, the stuff that you're doing. Um, if there's
I
anybody
was
out
going to
there,
say, our founders, Tony Catrano and Jerry Cooch, were Tony was an Italian, and he kissed everybody. And everywhere he went, he made a friend. But he never walked away from somebody without telling them about this wall, this vision that he had, and telling people how you need to be patriotic and get involved. I mean, this is our country. These are our children that
Yeah.
are over there, and everybody knew Tony. He had a great personality that was larger than life, and unfortunately, he was killed in a motorcycle wreck on Memorial Day coming from the wall. And Jerry Cooch uh, continued on, and I love Tony. He was the first friend I ever lost. And I took it pretty hard, but I wanted to continue on with his. He was so passionate about it. It leaked over to me. I was passionate about it. So that's how I stayed involved with this. And Tony's wife, Linda Catrano, is the current president of the organization, and I'm the secretary. I was the secretary. I've been the vice president now for 2 years, and we have a lot of great things that we've accomplished over the 20 years, and we have a lot of, like I said, great volunteers from around the country,
Yeah.
people that plan, they call up, they have retreats out there, they as they're riding across the country to stop by, and and it just blows me away that none of us ever thought the war was going to go on this long. I'll tell you that nobody did, and I go down there and I see this, and I just can't believe how beautiful it is, and it really, it's sacred ground, and anybody that goes there will say the same. And
Yeah.
it just, if it could talk back to you all the stories, it's just amazing. So there's no stopping now. How are we going to stop? We just
Yeah.
need to find more people that want to carry on and continue and do this. You don't have to live in Illinois to support this beautiful wall. I
Yeah.
mean, we are the only one that has all of the names of
Yeah.
all of those killed in action. And we have the directory, and as to my knowledge, there isn't something like this out there.
Yeah. No, to my knowledge, I don't think so either. The only one, I mean, again, is the only wall that I know, is the Vietnam Wall. Um, which that is also they have a traveling wall that does it.
Right.
Um, you know, but to be able to say that, to be a part of that, that's absolutely amazing. If any of the viewers that are watching this, how can they get a hold of, someone like you or whoever they need to get a hold of, to, if they want to be a volunteer for this, as well as to, for people that may watch this and they own a business, or they're just an individual that wants to donate, where and how can they do that as well?
The probably the easiest way, if they're on Facebook, would be to contact the Illinois Freedom Run page. I man that. I answer the emails on that. Our website, www.middleeastconflictswallmemorial.org. I know it's long, but that's who we are. There's no copycats. There's nobody else trying to do anything. So it's the middleeastconflictswallmemorial.org. They could email there. All of our emails are on there. Linda, myself, the other people on the board. Otherwise, we have a post office box, 398 at Palos Heights, Illinois, 60463, if they want to send something that way.
Nice, nice.
My phone number is on the Google page. I don't want to say it out loud, but if somebody goes to the Google page for the wall, my phone number is on there as well. They could shoot me a text, which is the easiest.
Yep.
Sometimes I'm busy, but I'll always call right back. If they just introduce themselves, who they are, I'll give a call back. But because of this, like I said, I have phone calls from people around the country, and visitors that come into the wall, from around the country. So it literally, we're a phone call away. I told you the story before we went
Yeah.
on about the fella who was the veteran who was going to visit his mother for Mother's Day, driving through the cornfields of Illinois. He was going to go to the wall, and then he was going to go visit his mom on Mother's Day. He lost his way. He ran out of gas. He was having a total meltdown and called my number from the Google page. And I was able to make one post on Facebook saying, I need help now. And somebody from the Combat Vets Motorcycle Association called me. Don't even know who he was, but he's like, how can I help you? And he was not too far from that location. And went over and bought this guy his lunch and paid for his haircut and gave him some money to go buy his mom some flowers and filled up his gas tank.
Wow, and
It's like people taking care of each other.
that's one of the biggest things that I get, and I always hear from everybody is that you've got people like that, especially definitely veterans supporting one another. Again, as I always say, best one of the best people to watch out for to watch out for veterans are veterans.
Mhm.
But you also still got supporters that are civilians that know how to handle and how to take care of veterans. Just like yourself, you're doing this, without wearing the uniform or raising your right hand. Um, you know, you didn't have to do any of that, and you are taking care of us as fellow veterans, taking care of us all, because that's absolutely amazing, hands down. They should have definitely a what do you call it, a ribbon or something of that sort to be able to give to you guys, because what you guys do is absolutely amazing. And you guys have been doing that now for 20 years. And, again, I can't say it enough, as a veteran myself, as thank you for doing that. And keeping these soldiers, these veterans that have that are no longer with us, have their stories and have their names still read out loud every year at this ride. That's hands down amazing. We should
You know,
never.
when
Go
go
ahead.
ahead.
No, you go
I was
ahead.
gonna say when I did get started with this, um, the idea of building this and the people that were just coming out of the woodwork that wanted to support us, it was overwhelming. And it was overwhelming looking for Gold Star families. And at the same time, my grandma was old and dying, and death was just around me. It was just a lot to talk to all these families and these mothers, and everything was so, I don't want to say, it was so new because their kids were just recently, had passed,
Yeah.
and it was hard to talk to all these mothers. So I had a big, every year when I find as many as I can and let them know. That's all I can do is just let them know. How do you gracefully do that? It's
Yeah.
just not easy ever. And every year, the day of the run, I just sit there and I just cry
Yeah.
for all the names that don't have somebody. Excuse me.
No, no,
So
take it.
that's probably why I keep doing it. Because there are still so many families that don't know this exists. And I see how much they get out of it when they come. Not only do they find other Gold Star families, so now they have someone to grieve with. Some of these mothers are having reunions with the parents of the battle buddy that their child was killed with.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
It it really is, and for the work that you're doing, again, it's absolutely amazing. Um, and I'll speak for myself, but I can probably say I'm speaking for them as well. As it means a lot to them. It's 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 very loving and caring that you're doing what you're doing, And they probably would want to see you keep doing this because, you know, that it means a lot to them, that knowing that there's people out there that know their son's name or their daughter's name, or their, you know, father's name or their cousin's name, whatever, you know, their relationship is to that soldier that has passed away. They look at it and they really cherish it. And I know I've went around with a Gold Star mother, and you know, it meant a lot to her, because she was like, after the whole, and you know, the whole day that I spent with her at the track, it reminded a lot of her son, and it brought back so many wonderful memories of her and her son spending the time at the races. And
and that's all they want to do is talk about their kids. There's a Gold Star mom who told me she's got six of her son's comrades named their first child after John Olson. You know, and so she's got, every year she gets the Christmas cards with all these little kids that are all named after her son.
yeah,
What an honor that would be.
mm, ab-
But
absolutely,
the Gold Star families are all they all need each other, and they do support each other a lot, and they spread the word, like call Carla and get your reservation made, or you got to get to a freedom run. So that helps finding Gold Star mothers. But back in 2004, 2005, when the internet was so new, it was difficult, and
yeah,
the impact we make on them is so huge. And for instance, there's a Gold Star dad, Mr. Rob Hopper, out of Arkansas, and he was working on an oil rigger on the Gulf of Mexico, so it took like 3 weeks to email back and forth. And when
yeah,
he finally got back on land and I was able to tell him what we were doing, he came to our freedom run and he brought his daughter with, and they rode the motorcycle. And then he went home and wrote us the most beautiful thank you note, saying that he met heaven on earth and the angels were wearing orange shirts. Heaven on earth in Marseille, Illinois, and the angels were wearing orange shirts. And then he turns around, because he was so inspired about our freedom run, he started the Arkansas Run for the Fallen, which is a huge motorcycle run from all four corners of the state. And
wow,
and there's other families that go and they start their non-for-profits for something else, to create awareness, to create support. And it's nice to see that they have a mission. It's probably the only way they can. It's probably the only thing they can do so they don't drown in their grief,
yeah,
is to fall into something else. And that's wonderful that they can do that.
yeah, no,
Just like
absolutely,
the just like that dark horse camp down in, I think, in Kentucky maybe, or Tennessee. That's a Gold Star mom from Illinois. And yeah.
no, it is, it gives them a way to get out, and be able to, you know, honor their loved ones. And you know, it's a time for them to be able to also, you know, meet others. So I highly recommend any of the viewers, if you're ever looking for, you know, a place to go for a motorcycle ride and whatnot, you know, definitely reach out to Carla and be able to set something up out there, because you know, this is what you and your volunteers and the group that you guys are doing. I want to tell you to keep it up, keep going, go strong, and keep going strong with this. If I can make my way out that way, I don't ride anymore. I did, but you know, I will reach out to you, because I know, well, I'm always traveling. I'm always, you know, doing things with my wife and kids, and we may
We're
have
right off Interstate 80. So if anyone's taken Interstate 80 across the country, we are literally 2 miles south of exit 97.
Okay.
And there's a sign on the highway, can't miss it, but we're only 2 miles off the highway. Whip in, whip out, you could do.
Yeah.
Chances are you won't, but it's right off the highway.
Yeah.
And if you are coming with families, we have a great Starved Rock State Park is like 13 miles away with hiking and cabins and camping. Otherwise, the motorcycles that are coming through, we're more people are giving us information. Like we now have Airbnbs out there that allow motorcycles and campers and extra people,
Yep.
so we're having our own little list of motorcycle friendly people. I would, if I had the extra money, I would love to build like a giant barn where it's like sleeping rooms with a big shower and a kitchen area where
Yeah.
people could just come and go and have their own space. But that probably won't be too far off my list because I've been thinking of it for quite a while.
Yeah, no, it's like having that extra land to be able to build something like
Right.
that. You know, who was it? Someone else I was talking to. They have quite a bit of land, but it's out in, I believe, West Virginia or Virginia. And he was like, anytime you want to come out and go camping, let me know. You're more than welcome. And he's like showing me the pictures of, the view of his property. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is absolutely gorgeous.
Right.
That's something that I would love to do as well myself. Just to be able to have, fellow veterans that wanted to come out and just, chill out and do something. So, absolutely. I mean, that's definitely it's on my list, but I don't know if it's gonna be able to. But we'll see where this world takes me. You know, so going back into the whole motorcycle run and all that. When that's usually held, what time of the year usually is that held?
So we have a kickoff party every February. We've been doing it every February at the Local 150 Heavy Equipment Operating Hall. Local 150 donates the room to us to have our. It's a kickoff party. Everybody comes
Yeah.
out in the middle of winter to get going on this, and then we have meetings twice a month, year round. I mean, this isn't just something we start up at summertime. We have meetings, twice a month, year round for this. Um, and the motorcycle run is always the third Saturday of June. It's always Father's Day weekend. When Tony and Jerry picked the third Saturday of June, it was to honor all the fathers that
Yeah.
were whose names were now on the wall. There's no rhyme or reason either how they're listed on the wall. They're not listed according to date or alphabetical. And the reason behind that is we wanted people to walk up to a wall and rub their fingers and look for their loved ones' names. We
Yeah.
wanted hands on the wall. They could pray for all the people as they're touching the wall. And but it's always the third Saturday of June, and we Facebook it. We do posters. There's people across the country like you. I'm going to put you on my list now because
Yeah.
come next April, I'm going to mail you posters so you could pass them out to whoever are your veteran friendly people want to post them. If anybody I'm the out of state contact. Somebody's coming from out of state. They need directions. They need lodging. They need an itinerary, or they want to be part of us. They just need to call me and I'll make it happen. If their bike breaks down, literally, I know people all over the place, so I could be definitely a help there. And but we go down there on Thursday, Friday, and the run is Saturday. And
Yeah.
really, we're down there Thursday, just finishing up, cleaning up, and setting things up, and then we do the tent and the chairs on Friday morning. And we have a group of volunteers, the group of 40 from the 520 Infantry. They usually help us do that, and the Laborers Union. And Friday evening, we have a Gold Star dinner. So something else I'm going to add is that if it's a Gold Star family's first time to come out here, we pay for their lodging and their airfare or their travel, gas cards or whatever, but it doesn't cost them anything to come out the first time. The Illinois Freedom Run picks up that tab. And
Wow.
if we need to pick them up from the airport, we do, and transport back and forth. And so then on Friday evening, we have a meet and greet and then a light dinner. It's always hotter than hell,
Yeah.
always. So we don't even plan a dinner. We just let them eat off the menu,
Yeah.
whatever they're in the mood for. And then everybody, and then go to the wall and we have a candlelight vigil at the wall, which is really nice. This way, the community could come out and embrace the Gold Star families. We have a non-dominational service with the candles at sunset, which if you look at our pictures of sunset on the Illinois River, it's beautiful. The sunset is every day
Yeah.
on the river. Here's a picture.
Oh,
That's every
wow.
day. Every
Wow.
day the sun sets like that.
That's absolutely amazing.
So yeah, it's beautiful territory down there. Can you
Wow.
see that?
Yep, I can. It's a
So
beautiful view.
after that, everybody needs to go home and go to bed and drink water. That's
Yeah.
what I say. They usually don't. The families sit around and toast their children and they have their own little thing going on, which is fine, totally
Yep.
fine. The next day, 6 a.m., the gates open at the Grundy County Fairgrounds, and motorcycles are coming in that early. I mean, we've got a father-son team that are the first ones there every year, and they're damn proud of it too, you know. So
Yep.
from six o'clock till about 10, motorcycles are coming in. During that time, Bob Cooch, which is our co-founder's brother,
Yep.
who's been involved with it since day one. He's acts like a MC on the stage, telling stories, letting people come and talk, doing auctions. And then at 10:15, it's kickstands up, and everybody mounts on. They do Pledge of Allegiance and national anthem on the guitar, and everybody's revving their engines, making. I've got video I could show you from this year for your when you go when you
Yeah.
put it in.
Send that
Because
to me.
everyone's revving their engines, and they're making all kinds of noise, and it's just puts goosebumps on your back seeing all that. And then all the Gold Star families go out first, of course. They're in the first tier, and then
Yeah.
it's a 30-mile ride to the wall, and then all the Gold Star families, all the veterans, anybody in that first tier, they all park at the wall, and then all the other motorcycles filter in through the streets of the town of Marseilles. And then the ceremony is usually about an hour, hour and a half. And the museum is open at that time, so people could go in the museum and see what's going on in there. And families come and they leave things for in honor of their children, or they swap things out. They've been coming year after year, so they bring things back and take things out. Um, and they enjoy going in there, seeing what else is in there. And the run from the wall. They come every Memorial weekend. The ride that goes from California to Washington.
Yep.
They stop. They put a whole bunch of stuff in our museum, and then the sandbox run on the way back stops. They all ride in honor of somebody. They have an actual picture and all the information of somebody on the wall, and then we collect all those. They leave them at the wall for their ceremony, and then we collect them all and we make a binder. So when they come back next year, they're going to see that we honored who they're honoring, and they're now in a
Yep.
binder in our museum. And yeah,
That's
it just
amazing.
it goes from there.
That's absolutely amazing. So, I mean, I definitely do appreciate, you be able to, tell us the whole story regarding this, and, get your guys' information out there, because again, a lot of the viewers, as they're sitting here watching this, they're gonna see this, and it's gonna take off, even more. And as you were saying, you have thousands of bikers that show up. That's amazing. I got a buddy of mine who does the Boston Wounded Vet Run, Andy Bigelow. One year we've had where it's well over 9-10,000 bikers show up, and it's down in Boston. And speaking of like Boston and stuff, it's like it's a a small area to have that many bikers in it, and the towns have all opened their doors and welcomed them all to drive through and pretty much shut the city down. So,
That is awesome.
it is, and I just say just keep doing what you're doing. We, us veterans, we appreciate it, and it means a lot to us. So I'm gonna definitely provide all the viewers. I'm gonna link in here in the comments. Is all the websites, stuff like that, are going to be in there, the Facebook pages. It's all going to be pinned into the comments, as well as it's going to be put into all the locations. It's going to be able to where you can see it and click on it, and so they can spread the word on it. And I gotta say thank you so much for coming on, Carla. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having us.
Oh, you're very welcome. It's an honor to have you guys on here and be able to talk about this, and it shows that you have a lot.
Next year during our ceremony, we could go live with you. You could be at our ceremony for all your guests.
Absolutely. I'm gonna have to look at this, because again, you're a few hours away. You're probably, I think, 9 hours away from me. I may have to look at it, because again, I do a lot with motorcycle clubs and stuff like that with doing this, and this is I may have to pack my bags up and take a couple days and go do this, because I think that's gonna be able to experience it myself to even do more.
A couple years ago, a group came from New York. They met at New York Harley in New York City downtown.
Yep.
And I don't remember how many there were. Their group got bigger and bigger as they came along. But they started in New York. They did a sleepover in Elkhart, Indiana. And the next morning, somebody donated a free breakfast and at a gathering spot. And then they came this way, and then the Chi-Town Harley, which is, 30 miles into Illinois from the Indiana border. They gave hot dogs and hot dog and pop for lunch as a donation. And then that's kind of my neighborhood. So then we hopped on with them, and we took half of them to Morris, to where the hotels were, and the other half went to a campground. That by the time that group stopped and picked up people along the way, I think there were almost like 60-something motorcycles.
Oh, I believe it, because we've done it up here where we left out of Salem, New Hampshire, and people picked us up, and then we would stop along the way all the way down to DC, and I'll tell you, I think we had probably 80 to 120 bikers that popped on with us. Some stayed with us. Some, as we took a break or something, got fuel. Some of them kept going, but it was a nice pack, and we started out at, like, I think 11, 12 o'clock at night is when we left. So again, I'm gonna have to definitely keep my eye out and look at it.
And anybody going through for Sturgis, anybody east of the Mississippi, we're literally about 2 hours, an hour and a half from the Mississippi. So if they are coming from east or coming from south, coming up, I actually know the back roads to go through and then get to the Mississippi. I know a biker bar destination place that has free camping. I mean, what the hell? Why not make a trip out of it? Come by us, and then the place is called Silo Saloon, and they offer free camping. And then straight from there you head north, and then you're on your way to Sturgis. So people who are road tripping across the country, we're right in the middle. And what better way to to start or continue on or finish your road trip by honoring the men and women that died for your freedom to do so.
Absolutely, and that it's not much to ask
No,
anybody to
not
do
at all.
that, and
And it's a biker-friendly town, so they have a couple places to stop for food and a cold beer. And you tell them that you're riding across the country, they'll tell you the stories too, the history of the wall and the people and the event. And they love the customers, or they love the out-of-towners that come through, because there
yeah,
are many
yeah,
that roll through. So it's not just the Freedom Run. There are people that are blowing through town year round. Every time I'm down there, I meet a Gold Star family. And it's so sad because, a lot of times I'm on my motorcycle. I haven't been riding this year because of an injury, but every time I am down there, I meet a Gold Star family. I met
yeah.
a family that drove all the way up. They drove 13 hours straight to get to the wall, to see the wall before their son's name was put on it. He was killed
Wow.
in action. His name was going to be put on, and they wanted to see the wall before his son's name was on it. What do you
Wow.
say to that?
That's very that is very uh, it leaves you speechless. It's absolutely amazing, and it's nice that they were able to see it beforehand and then after the fact.
Yeah, they came to the event the next year.
That's,
Like I said, we're open to phone calls. There's people like this lady. We had a lady, or this year we had a mom whose son was killed in 2007, and I mean, we have a special coin for Gold Star mothers from the Freedom Run, our gift to them.
yeah,
And she fell to her knees when we gave that to her. She's like, she does not get the support from other Gold Star families or anybody, no organization uh, treats her
no,
like that in Michigan. She's in some small town in Michigan, which is really just a crime that people are um, at least looking to help out the Gold Star families if they see one. So she was so touched. It was her first weekend. Her best friend and the best friend's daughter came
yeah,
to go through this with her. And I'm glad they were, because it was emotional. It opens up a can of worms. All the emotions come back, like
absolutely,
it was yesterday.
absolutely.
Um, but
Hey,
our focus too now though is the veterans. Waypoint vets. How I Met James West. Waypoint vets coming in for a healing weekend. They've got a great. They bring a grief counselor with them. They work in a good meal. They have a hike, and then they etch names, and then we all meet at the Legion Hall, and the Legion cooks a huge family home cooked meal for these people, and then we all go down and we did the candlelight vigil. That will happen anytime. If there's a group coming in, all I got to do is call, and we'll make all that happen. And our Legion halls, there's different people that want to give to our travelers that are coming through as
yeah,
well. And we have blocks of hotels with special pricing that we have. It's all going to be on our website, but
perfect.
we're trying to make it as accommodating for anybody coming
Absolutely.
through.
Absolutely, and the viewers definitely are going to, appreciate that, as it makes it easier for them to see that. And again, I want to say thank you for coming on today. We really appreciate it, you providing us this story and this information regarding it. You know, if there's anything you want to say last to the viewers, go ahead. If you have anything else to say.
No, I just know that I take pride knowing that you know, just a bunch of bikers from the south side of Chicago are not forgetting. We made a promise that we would always remember our fallen and dedicate the third Saturday of every June for our Illinois Motorcycle Freedom Run. And this is something we do year round, and we will never forget. Our mission statement, our mission's been accomplished, and we're still doing it. That we would provide a place of peace and comfort for our Gold Star families and our